case, we are dealing with the chapter work energy power in continuation. And today the topic with us is the vertical circle. We have to go in detail of the vertical circle. Vertical circle, uniform circular motion we have already done with you in the previous chapter. This is actually an example for non-uniform circular motion. So as we have discussed earlier that circular motion I can have uniform as well as non-uniform. So it means we are talking about non-uniform circular motion with you. It means along with the centripetal force, you can have, if you are having some acceleration, that also will be producing the force. Here you are making the body to rotate like this in the vertical circle. It means you are working against the gravity as well when you are moving the body. So what is there, that velocity when you are moving from the lower point, you are going to the higher point, velocity of the body is also changing. It means speed is decreasing and it's becoming minimum at the highest point. But the thing is, as we have discussed in work energy chapter, that whenever we are moving, even our gravitational force is a conservative force. So total mechanical energy is remaining conserved. So we have to use that concept of conservation of mechanical energy, and what we want to find the velocity, minimum velocity, which should be given at the lowest point so that the body is able to complete the vertical circle. The body should be able to complete the vertical circle. For that, what minimum velocity should be given, that we have to learn, and that is, maybe you have seen some people show it as a magic, that if you are carrying a glass full of water and you are able to rotate it without water spilling out. So they know this trick, that how much speed should be given at the lowest point, and according to the mass of the water and glass, whatever is there, and still the body is able to complete the circle without getting it spilled. And of course, in circus, if you see, the person comes on the bike and then is able to complete the vertical circle, that is known as death circle popularly. So that is also by the knowledge of this, that what should be the minimum velocity at the lowest point with which the person should come so as to complete the vertical circle. So this all can be calculated simply by applying this concept which we have discussed in the previous class, that total mechanical energy of the body is remaining conserved. Kinetic energy and potential energy, they are interconvertible, they are getting changed into each other, and by using that we are able to do this solution for us. So basic key point should be clear in your mind, and then mathematics will not be any problem. So what it is, we are like supposing that we are having some initial velocity, u velocity is at the lowest point, L point I'm saying, highest point I'm naming it as H, middle point I'm naming it as capital M. Now if I'm at the lowest point, I'm giving some speed, that is u is the initial speed, and it is reaching to this point P. At this point P, if I join this point P with the center of the circle, then of course I have tied a stone which is tied with the help of thread, of course, and I'm revolving that thread to move the stone to in the vertical circle. So stone is having the mass small m. Here small m you can write is the mass of the stone, which is being revolved in the vertical circle, tied with the thread, and let the length of the thread here, I may call it as R, or you may assume it as L. Again, that is your choice. I am taking it as R, which is equals to the radius of this circle. So length of the string is equals to radius of the circle. But you all are supposed to write all these suppositions whenever the question is coming to you. M is the mass of the stone. R is the length of the thread or the string with which the stone is tied. Small m is the mass of that, small m is the mass of stone. And if I'm I'm saying my stone is reaching at point P, then at this point, L point initial speed is U, and here if I take that let the speed is V, then according to the law of conservation of mechanical energy, you can write that sum of the kinetic and potential energy here at L point should be equals to the sum of the kinetic and potential energy at point P. Now here, because we are assuming this as the reference line, so height is 0, h is 0, so potential energy will be 0, all energy will be the kinetic energy. So you can write it as half mu square as the kinetic energy, and potential energy is 0. At P point, if you see, then it is at a height h above this reference line. If you wish, you can draw the reference line for your convenience. And then this h is the height above this reference line for the point P. So potential energy will be mgh. If I take the velocity as v, then I can write the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy as half mv square plus mgh. So m is common on both the sides, will get cancelled. And on solving this equation, I am getting it as u square, it is equals to v square plus 2gh. Or you can write v, it is equals to square root of u square minus 2gh. This I am calling it as equation number 1. This is giving me velocity at any point P which is at a height h above the reference limit. So I can assume this point P anywhere and height is to be taken according to my choice. And R is the length of the string and T will be the tension in that string, because we are tying the stone with the help of thread. So if you want to find tension at this point P, then of course you will be resolving this weight mg which is acting downward into its components. You have to assume some angle, and if I am taking this angle as theta with the vertical, if this angle is taken as theta, this is theta, then this angle will also be theta. So when this angle is theta, I am resolving it into components. So when you resolve it into components, you will be getting mg cos theta along this line, and mg sin theta will come perpendicular to it. Of course, like we have done in simple pendulum, this is mg sin theta which tries to bring the body back to the mean position because it is producing the restoring force. But we are not focusing on this component at this minute. We are saying that T tension which is acting towards the center and mg cos theta both are acting in the opposite direction. And because the body is moving in the circular path, then this difference in this tension and mg cos theta is going to provide you the centripetal force for the circular motion. And this centripetal force is acting towards the center, so it means T has to be greater than mg cos theta. So by a free body diagram, I can say that T minus mg cos theta, it is equals to mv square upon r. So if you rearrange this equation, you are getting T, it is equals to mg cos theta plus mv square upon r. This is giving me tension at any point. Again, I am taking it at P point. So I can call this equation as equation number 2. Now you see, if this angle is theta, then you can find the value of cos theta. Cos theta is, of course, your base divided by hypotenuse. So base is, if this whole distance is r and h distance, I am taking this, so this distance will be equals to r minus h. If you wish, you can label that r distance also. That radius is your r. This whole distance is your r till the central point of this. Till the central point. This distance is your r distance. It means r is the radius of the circle. And so this distance will also be r of this. which is giving me the length of the thread. So I can write the value of cos theta is r minus h divided by r. So if I put this value of cos theta in second equation, I'm getting mg r minus h upon r plus m upon r into v square. V square value I will be taking from first equation, which I have found for the velocity at any point, that is u square minus 2gh. So if I'm putting the value of cos theta and v on solving, I'm getting tension at any point can be given as m upon r into u square plus gr minus 3gh. This equation, third equation, is very important because we are going to use this equation in the coming derivations. So you need to clear up to this equation, bache, all of you. So I'm getting tension at any point in terms of the initial velocity and the h height, and r is the radius of the circle, which is of course the length of the string. So now if I'm willing to find what should be the velocity at the lowest point and what should be the velocity or your tension at the highest point, if I want to find tension at the lowest and at the highest point from the previous equation, which was yours u square plus gr minus 3gh. So from there, if you put h equals to 0 at the lowest point, I'm getting tension at the lowest point is m upon r into u square plus gr. And at highest point, this h, LH distance, this will become equals to twice of the radius. So if you put that value twice of the radius here, in place of minus 3gh, I'm putting h equals to 2r. So I'm getting here minus 3gr. This expression is same, u square plus gr. Of course, m upon r is 4. So if you work it out, I'm getting tension at the highest point is m upon r into u square minus 5gr. So if you want to find the difference in the tension at the lowest point and at the highest point, you can simply get it by subtracting the two, and you are getting the result, which is coming out to be 6 mg. So difference in the tensions at the lowest point and at the highest point, they are coming out to be 6 mg. If they ask you to prove or find the difference in the tension, you have to work out up to this point. Or most of the times they ask you the velocity at the lowest and highest point. So these equations for the tensions we will be using to find that. So when we want to find the minimum velocity of projection at the lowest point, you should be knowing that at the highest point this tension should be at least equals to 0, or it should be greater than 0 so as to complete the circular path. So this is the condition with us which you should be knowing for completing the vertical circle, that the tension at the highest point should be greater than or equals to 0. But we have derived the expression for the tension at the highest point. It is equals to m upon r into u square minus 5gr. So they should be greater than or equals to 0. So it means u square should be greater than or equals to 5gr. Or you can simply write that the u should be greater than or equals to root of 5gr. So u is the velocity which we are giving at the lowest point. So this is the minimum velocity should be equals to 5gr, or it can be greater than this so as to complete the vertical circle. And if you are having the velocity is less than this, then of course the body or the stone will not be able to complete the vertical circle. So minimum you should be having root of 5gr. Similarly, if you want to find velocity at this highest point or at the top, what should be the velocity, minimum velocity to complete the vertical circle? Then I'm assuming let capital V is the velocity at the highest point. Then you can find simply using the first equation, that is V square equals to U square minus 2GH. Now at H is highest point, the height above the lowest point is equals to twice of the radius. So again, if you put this value and you put the value of the minimum speed or minimum velocity with which the body is projected, that is 5 gr, then I'm getting V, it is coming out to be equals to root of gr, or it should be greater than this value. But if it is less than this value, then of course the body will not reach up to that point, or it will slack in between. It will not be able to come by following the circular path. It can fall directly over here at the highest point, even if it reaches somehow. So these two expressions are very important, and you should be able to derive the expressions if it comes in your exam. This is the direct question for finding the speed at the lowest point and at the highest point, minimum speed to complete the vertical circle. Now what it is, as I have said, that if V is less than root of 5 gr, then body will either oscillate about the lowest point or it will leave the circular path. So what should be where it will go, whether it will be leaving or it will means what will happen, that also you need to find, that we are going to find as the condition of oscillation, that if it is not leaving the circle, that then how will it is going to oscillate. So for that we are assuming that suppose at h1 point, some point we are taking h1 point, velocity of the body becomes 0. At velocity of the body becomes 0 at some height, say h1, then if I use the first equation that I have derived with you, that is v square equals to u square minus 2gh, and v is becoming 0, then I can get the value of h1, which is coming out to be u square upon 2g. Now we are supposing one more thing, that let the tension is becoming 0 at some height h1, h2. At h1 we are assuming velocity is becoming 0. At h2 height the tension is becoming 0. Then it means here the equation which I have derived for tension at any point, I will be putting t equals to 0. Then I can get the value of h2 by keeping h equals to h2. And I am getting h2 is coming out to be u square plus gr divided by 3g. So this is the expression for h2. So I am getting the expression for h1 as well as h2 by assuming that some height h1 velocity is becoming 0 and some height h2 say tension is becoming 0. So this, if it is clear, then you can say that the body will oscillate at L point if velocity becomes 0 earlier than the tension. Then it means h1 should be less than h2. From there, if you find the u is coming out to be less than square root of 2gr. So it means if speed is less than 2gr, then the body will oscillate at the lowest point of the vertical circle. And it may have some semicircle like path with you. So this is the condition for oscillation, that h1, it means velocity becomes 0 earlier than its tension. So this is to be noted, and then these expressions for h1 and h2 we have already calculated. So we can put the values of h1 and h2 and we can work it out for finding the value of u. That is simple mathematics. Now what happens? The body is tension is becoming 0 before its velocity becomes 0, then what will happen? Then the body will leave the circle. It means it is not going to oscillate about the lowest point. So what it is, then h2, if it is less than h1, then you can calculate that u square plus gr upon 3g should be less than u square upon 2g, simply by putting the value of h2 and h1. And you are getting u is coming greater than square root of 2gr. It means if your lowest point velocity is greater than 2gr but less than your 5gr, then body will leave the circle somewhere between m and h. It Means it will reach up to this point, middle point, and then it can leave the circle. It may follow parabolic path or it may rejoin, whatever may happen. But because we have already said that lowest point velocity should be equals to square root of 5gr, then only it will be able to complete its circular path, not otherwise. So these expressions you should have to keep in mind. As I have said, this knowledge of vertical circle is helping me to find that what should be the minimum velocity, like if I want to complete the vertical circle. So on that basis, this question has been taken for you. I'm reading the question beta for you. A stone of, I'm changing the value here. Let the mass is 0.3 kilogram, but of course it will become very heavy. And it is tied to the end of the string, 0.8 meter long, and rotated in the vertical circle. So what speed of the ball will the tension in the string be? 0 at the highest point. It means what should be the speed at the body at the highest point of the circle, what would be the tension at the lowest point of the circle, that all is to be calculated. So you have to calculate, because tension is 0 at the highest point, and we have already seen that here's tension at the lowest point, and the difference between the tension at the highest point, it is equals to 6 times mg. So you can work it out with you. TL minus TH, it is equals to 6 mg, and TH at the highest point is 0, and that value you can calculate simply by multiplying m and g. M is 0.3 kilogram I have taken, and g is taken 10 meter per second square, so as to get the result in Newton. If it is given in gram, then you need to convert it into kilograms and then only multiply the things. If you want to find the velocity at the highest point where the tension is becoming 0, then VH, you know, it is equals to square root of GR. So you can put the value of G, and R is given 0.8 meter. So I'm getting the answer square root of 8, which is equals to 2 root 2 meter per second. So of course unit you have to take care, and if it is given in CGS, you have to convert it into SI to give the result for the tension in Newton. Tension is a force. I think you all are aware of this thing by now. So this is the simple question in which a stone is being tied and it is moving in the vertical circle. You have to simply find the velocity at the highest point where the tension is becoming 0, and you have to find tension at the lowest point. So these formulas, whatever we have derived today, it means you are supposed to write it at one place and you should be able to use it in your numericals. Next question with you. Of course, these can be asked as an application or conceptual problems also, that if in a circus the diameter of the globe of radius is 20 meter, they may say that diameter is d, or radius they may say r, then what minimum height must a cyclist should start in order to go round the globe successfully? This he is willing to go around, that is death circle. Then what should be the minimum velocity with which the person should come? That can be asked. So that you can derive that if I is moving with velocity v and I am at a height h, then when the cyclist is rolling down to get the minimum velocity here, 5gr square root, that is the minimum velocity required. So in terms of radius, what is the value of this velocity I want to find? So that I can use the concept of, again, the conservation of mechanical energy. It means mgh, it is equals to half mv square. So velocity which will be gained at this point when it reaches, if here it is coming with 0 velocity from the height, Here velocity I am supposing v, then v will be equals to square root of m2gh by solving this equation. And for looping, this v should be equals to square root of 5gr. So it means if I equate these two, 2gh, it should be equals to root of 5gr. It means h should be equals to 5 by 2 of the radius. This result you can use directly, and this all mathematics you can do in the theoretical question as well. That way also the question can be framed. So then in that case you can directly use this formula that h should be equals to 5 by 2 of r. And if the r is given, in place of r they have given you the diameter, so you can find the radius. Radius is half d, so you can say d by 2, so 20 upon 2 you will be getting it 10 meter. So if I put the value of the radius, I'm getting the height which is coming out to be 25 meter. So it means the person should come from a height 25 meters so as to complete the circle of the radius 10 meter or diameter 20 meter. So this this formula can be used to solve this question. So you must keep this formula beta in your mind. Similarly, I can give you a table for learning so that you can keep the things. Another way of writing, if I'm finding velocity on a vertical loop, if I'm taking in place of L, R, I'm taking L as the length. Then this is also another method to write the velocity in terms of cos theta also. You can leave the things. Earlier we converted the value of cos theta in terms of h. So you can leave the things here, and you can even write in the equation for this so as get that what is happening when the body is at A, angle is 0. So you can keep putting the value of cos theta in the expression, and you can get the velocity and tension at the different points. So simply means in that formula which I have given you earlier, you need not write the value of cos theta equals to r minus h upon r. Simply leave cos theta in terms of cos theta only, and then you can get all these results with you for the different angles, and then you can conclude here that tension between A point and B point, that is difference, is 3 mg. A and C, as we have already calculated, coming out to be 6 mg. So if I even calculate between B and C, the difference, it comes out to be 3 mg. So these results can be directly also used in the numerical problems if required. Tension at different points and velocity at different points. But of course, the best way is not to cram all these things. You just keep the equation with you in mind, and then you should be able to work out the things. So keep things up to this for today. Thank you everyone.